Well, welcome in then for round 6 here in Tier 2 House of Racing, as we then tip over into the second half of the season. Here in lovely Zandvoort today, dry racing, both here in Tier 2 and in Tier 1 later on, and we've got qualifying underway. 19 drivers on track, could potentially rise up to 20, but I imagine it's going to stay at 19. And we've already got the first times whipping in terms of who we've expecting to be where. We've obviously got
9 flats, a very impressive time already, isn't it?
Repsicola won't be setting any times as he's got a quali ban, but yeah, already people well within the 1 minute 9s. Gremic, though, like you said, a 9 flat immediately out of the blocks is very, very strong. So we might have already seen the pole time. I mean, it'd be interesting.
I was only going to guess that we're just about going to creep into the 8th flat. So the fact that he's already put that on the board is a very impressive start.
I think we said the same thing last week, because obviously Baku was very prevalent in terms of fuel and how much that affected your time. So I wonder if Gremic's just gone for literally like a 5 kg run immediately. Because to set that time, surely, he's straight back in the pits already. So yeah, that strikes me as, he's already low on fuel. So that's a 1 lap out for him. But you know, fair play. Elsewhere though, we've got a couple more people already thrown into the pits after doing their first run. Bradders just starting his first run. You've got Lucas Champion then come around the final corner as well, about to set his first time. So we'll see where Lucas Champion fits in, and then we can have a quick run through of last week to see if you missed last week where things stand after that. But there goes Lucas Champion then, 9.4, still 4.5 tenths off. Jacking in the chat, that's saying his quali pace is off, but he's 10 flat. To be fair, it's the first lap, that's not too bad.
Yeah, I feel like if you're comparing to Gremic, that could literally be very close to the pole time already. So it's not one where it makes it look further off than you actually would be.
Yeah, I mean, to put it into context, I think if Gremic sets that time later on, if he raced in Tier 1, I think he's got a very good chance of a top 5. Bradders sets a purple Sector 2 as well, so Bradders may have something to say about this. We'll have to watch him through Sector 3 to see if he can get anywhere close to the Williams time. 4 tenths clear already. Still 12 minutes left though, so a lot can change. Nothing's set in stone. Bradders then burning his ERS, coming up to the line. What can he set? He goes all the way up to P2 then, but still 2 tenths off. 9.234 for him. So nice time though.
In the wall.
Oh, again.
That's out of the final corner as well, so he's going to go straight into the pit lane, not set a lap yet. I don't know what happened there.
Obviously last week as well, he visited the wall in turn 1 of Baku, so he's repeating what he did last week. In terms of reserves and stuff this week, worth mentioning, we've got Usman Sidat, who raced in Season 7 for 1 race. He's back again to see what he can do. And then Troy, well known here within Tier 2 and Tier 1, back in action here as a Tier 2 reserve for now, after pulling off the Tier 1 grid early on in the season. So we'll see what he can do. I think he's been off the game for a bit, so we'll have to see how he hops in, how he gets on. And then we're saying into this week, Repsicola in as the Ferrari driver. He's out on track, but he will be filtering back into the pits. And then Zafa in the kick. He's the new kick Sauber driver as well. So a couple of changes on the grid going into this week, going into the second half of the season. So nice to see good numbers yet again in Tier 2. Zafa set his time as well. We went for a 10.3, so improved, but didn't quite find any more time to move up the order. So that Zafa and Usman slightly adrift from the top 10, 2 tenths away from them. So Troy's on his lap now, so we'll keep an eye on Troy to see where he comes in. The Schokolade is on the. I think he's in the wall, isn't he? Yeah, he's caught the curve and he's gone off in Sector 2. Yeah, that's where he's going.
Retired, but of course that's just his quali van. Here we go then, Troy up to the 9th, so we'll see where he slots in.
Get a little bit of a toe, puts it in 9th then, 10 flat, just above Jatin, so sneaks into the top 10. Brad is in the chat saying, why does this car keep bumping on the last corner? To be fair, it just naturally does that.
Yeah,
I think it would.
That's just the track, isn't it? It's just
yeah, unless you want to crazily change your right out or something, but yeah, it's just the car will naturally just bump. So yeah, don't feel like it's just you. Everyone is bumping. Don't worry. Zafa then come around to set his next time as well, so he's just starting his second run. So we'll catch that later on and see what he does. Schokolade as well, starting his run after venturing off into the gravel trap. Who else have we got a time? Robert Campanelli is actually on a time as well. Very close to the hazard, then he gets out of his way. 2/10 up on his time as well, so a good time from Robert here. Could potentially move up, catches the gravel though, coming into sector 3. Leaves a trail of it on the track, but come around the final corner then, 2/10. Could move him up as far as, but could get him on the front row here. If he has a good sector 3 here. As Gremic then leaves the pits to see if he can improve on that time. But yeah, to the line then, Robert Campanelli puts it P2, yeah. Finds an extra 10th in sector 3, puts it second with a 9.220. It's a good time from Robert.
Schokolade has already had to abandon that of his lap as well, so he must have made another mistake. So again, with only 9 minutes left, he's going to be yet to get his time on the board. And you'd imagine, I mean, could be pulled up to go again, but you'd imagine he's getting close to needing to come into the pit.
Yeah, I guess it depends. Obviously, the one thing with Zandvoort is fuel here. You can just go. I feel like this is one of the ones that you can go around 2-3 times. Zafa then puts it up into P8, finds 4/10 in this time. So good time from the new man here in Tier 2. If he's got a time, Jatin's pulled out of his time.
Chesney's just come around the final corner, so he's going to finally get a time onto the board. He comes up towards the line. So we'll see where he slots in. He slots in at P12 for now.
To be fair, not a massive spread in terms of times. Only, well, Schokolade's obviously yet to set representative time, so it's only a second field spread here, which isn't too bad to be fair. Top 9, all in the 9s. It's just that time that Gremic set. He's still 2/10 ahead of Robert Campanelli even with that time, so I think Robert was quite optimistic. Look in the chat about his pace, obviously was looking to be strong here a couple of seasons ago. As in Slick slots it P12 as well for the Haas team.
Very tight in that sort of region there.
Very tight, yeah. Look at all the people in 10.1. You've got Slick all the way down to Oozing, separated by 70 milliseconds. So very, very, very tight.
Interesting, with 7.5 minutes left as well. He's yet to get a time on the board. The only driver obviously who can set a time is Brooks, so I mean, Bodyman. Yet to get one, and he's out on mediums again, similar to last week.
Here comes Schokolade across on the line, it puts it P8, finds 7.8 seconds. So good improve up from him. Yeah, we also did this last week as well, so I don't know if this is his strat. Gremic coming up the line, what can he do? Oh, loses a bit of time in that final sector, 2/10 down his time in the end, so that's still, I think that probably would have put him P3 if he actually completed that lap.
I think Campa might have just slotted into P4. Because champion came out to the line and improved very slightly, and it's enough to take him above Campa.
Nitro finds 2/10, doesn't change his position though, but puts him with a bit of breathing room behind him. He's got 2.5 tenths down to Schokolade behind him, so tucked in nicely behind Hugo. Who's we got come around the final corner? We've got
McLaren showing 7/10 up. This is going to be the McLaren then as he enters the RS zone. It's going to be up to the line, so we'll see where this fits in. Right up the order here.
Here he comes though. Puts it P7, yeah, finds 6/10, so good improvement throughout his lap then for him.
Very tight. Another one showing 7/10 improvement. Whether or not this is just a track evolution then, or just genuinely people taking the fuel out and getting used to it.
Yeah.
But it comes then Oozing around the final corner, and I assume we're going to see Simmer jump to Orchard.
I imagine it's a bit of both really, fuel and track evolution in that sense. But yeah, we'll watch him come to the line then. What can he set then? 70th currently, up to P6, just ahead of his friend Hugo. Good time from him. And yet another driver into the 0.9, so that's the top 12 all within the 0.9s. Looking down, who have we got? We've got Troy in Sector 3 as well, looking to join them in the 0.9s. Got a bit of improvement on the board. Looks like he might be able to snag a toe. No, car ahead low on fuel, so he's had to move away from him. But yeah, around the final corner then, burning his ERS. He's going to hit the deploy limit usage, which is going to hold him back slightly, but creeps into the 0.9s then, finds 2.5 tenths and moves him up into the top 10. What else have we got on a time? I think Chesney's coming back into the pits if I'm... Yeah, 1.2 seconds down. Everyone low on fuel, running out.
Bradders is currently going for a lap. Currently in Sector 2, so it'll be interesting to see whether or not he can find any more time and try and challenge Gremic.
He might be able to get a bit of a tow here from Lucas Champion if he doesn't move out his way. Just a bit of residual tow, like just creeping it around, whether that's any kind of benefit. Any improvement in Sector 2? He's slightly down. He's probably chuck it around Max Verstappen style in Sector 3. just like his Monaco time, but very close to Robert up ahead. So final runs, catches that curb, manages to keep the car stable though. Whether he bails out this lap though, we'll have to see. Yeah, he's fading out. Obviously realising he was probably going to stay down in this time, so it made no sense to complete that lap. I think Robert's on a timer as well. 4.5 minutes left on the clock as well, so people probably filtering back into the pits for the ready for that last push. So it'd be interesting to see if Robert does choose to finish this lap. It all depends really now as he's going into sector 3. Is he up? Marginally up, purple sector 2. So we'll see if he can continue that gap through into sector 3. He's got plenty of time to make up though if he wants to get anywhere near Grummet. Oh, catches that curve a bit, bottoms out probably. Yeah, that's him pulling into the pits as well, realising he's not going to improve on that time. So all runs on these last these last laps then for many of these drivers.
Sets of 9.4.
0.6, yeah, good time from the new boy.
Ali's another one. I think he's the final one on the flying lap for now. As we're waiting for him after now, so if you want Ali to find any improvement, or like can maybe creep into the top 10 at least.
Or just 9.6, just misses out. Very competitive grid. You look at the gaps here; it's incredibly close. 9 flat, all the way down to you could as far as if you really want to go down to 15th second gap. You've got, I mean, just look at it. Robert 0.2, Bradders 0.2, Lucas Champion 0.2, Campa 0.3, Safa and Oozing on a 0.4, Hugo and Awkward on a 0.5. Then you've got 2 more on a 0.6. It's crazy tight, just within. We're not even in the top 10. It creeps further down then, all the way down to the top 15 or so. I think this could be one of the closest packs we've seen in some time since like Qatar time. Obviously that was close in the race, but
yeah, I mean, right now the only man really cut adrift of the pack is Rialto, but that's because his only time is on the medium.
Yeah.
He's a driver you'd expect to at least slot into sort of the top 10, probably even higher than that. So now he's on the soft, we'll see what he can end up doing when he starts setting his final time.
So for Phil's in the pits then. 2.5 minutes left, so obviously just enough time to whip into the pits, get a fresh set of boots on and come back out. One of the tracks that you obviously don't have to spend too long in the pits, considering it is am I right in saying it's the second shortest track? I want to say it is. Oh, it's Jesse's in the wall again. he's done a Danny Rich.
Quite the common occurrence. Yeah, he's lost half his wing again.
Yeah, he's broken his wrist. Yeah. Wow. But yeah, 15th at best, and he's still got Rialzo behind him, and Usman, who's improving slightly. I don't know if he's got enough, but he might just creep ahead of Chesney if he keeps this improvement up. He's just under a 10th up. Round the final corner then, what does Usman do? Continues his bit of VRS left to play with, to the line then, where does he go? Loses time in sector 3, and then ends up just dropping below that. Constellar in the chat says, can I do a practice run or 2? No, unfortunately not.
Rialzo is going to come up to sector 2 line, showing 7/10 improvement, and obviously you expect him to find some more in sector 3. Just a tyre change, so he's going to put himself right towards the net.
A bit hesitant through the final corner, but it's still going to probably find some improvement compared to, like you said, his run on the medium. So to the line then, this is going to be it then for Rialzo. Where does he go? P11, 9.6, so it does find time. So whether he has time, he might just have time if he fully sweats it. He might be able to get around to do one more, but realistically,
I think that's it.
He would have to do a full push run, and then considering he's probably going to have to Iris, and then he's probably not going to be able to. So P11 at best then for the Alpine man. That's bad for the constructors, considering they're trying to run away with it. Not a good day at the office for either Alpine boys so far, really. Campa's still P5, but where is he? He's in sector 3, he's a 10th up. Let's see who's got more time filtering and who's the furthest along. Bradders is getting a good tow through sector 2 as well. Well, I'll watch Campa as he's coming into sector 3. Got a couple of cars ahead of him as well. He's got Ferrari, where is that'd be Jatin starting his final run. He's got 22 seconds, just about going to make it. Campa could get a nice tow here around the final corner as well. So what does he do? Championship leader puts a provisional pole. 8.994. What a time!
Piastri showing almost 2 tenths up. He was just short of that mark. Oh wait, no, now he is the 2 temps up. So he's going to be on for second 8 at the moment. It takes a bit of gravel.
Bradders has caught the back of Troy, so I don't know if he's going to find any improvement here. He might have messed up his time. He's going to get massive gains up to the line though. And he goes second, 9.004 for him. Robert Campinesu next up to the line. We've got Haz in front of them as well. That's Slick stays 17th. Robert Campinesu next up goes to P3. 9.00. What? Look at these times. Very impressive. Session here in Tier 2. Who else have we got?
Oh,
We've got a car in the wall.
Into the wall, I think that is.
Awkward, yeah. Awkward into the wall. Who else have we got?
Grummet absolutely drained all of his ERS, but he was showing enough to get back in the pole mix. So whether or not he's still able to hold that, I suppose we'll find out. But I feel like he might have messed up his ERS usage here.
I'll watch Zafa as well. He's the next car up to the line. Can he find any improvement? 6th currently, stays 6th. Back to Gremic. 4th then, loses time on that run. Lucas Champion as well. What about him? He's showing up in Sector 2. Any improvements for him? No, stays fit, even though he finds only 2 tenths, doesn't move him anywhere, and then Awkward obviously. No time for him as he entered the wall. While Campa yet again pulling it out of the bag. I think that's 3 poles in a row then for the championship leader. I'll go back and just verify that, but I think he's back 3 poles. Did he get a pole last week? Obviously. Campa, yeah, pole last week. Very impressive. Jatin P6, happy with that in the chat, but look how competitive that is at the front.
I was going to say, certainly the front 4, I mean, even third line, checking Lucas Champion as well, really. It's the front 5, very close until you get sort of a couple of attempts there.
Yeah, just overall, I think there's 1 or 2 little gaps, but overall, very, very sweaty. Paul in the chat says it's like watching esports. Maybe not quite that level, but considering, the front 4 separated by 4 tenths, top 4 separated by 54 milliseconds. It says it all, really. Campa then claiming yet another pole. Bradders P2. Robert Campinesu putting a decent shift in to get P3. 4 milliseconds out of Gremic, who looked to be the main man coming into this, but doesn't hold off, has to set up a P4. Lucas Champion 5th. Jatin 6th. Zafa first race in a full-time seat, gets 7th. Oozing 8th. Hugo 9th, Awkward 10th. Outside the top 10 we got Nitro, Rialzo, Schokolade all the way down at 13th, Ali 14th, Troy reserving today 15th, Uzman 16th, Chesney yet again finding the wall 17th, Slick 18th, and then Repsy Curler rounding it out after having the survey quali ban. That's a lot closer.
I know Troy were only separated by 1,000th as well further down.
I knew it was going to be one of these tracks because it's shorter. It's, naturally the grid's a lot closer, but I did not expect it to be as close as that. So, fair play. This is why we like the Tier 2 boys. On to the race, though. We'll have to see what strategies are in play. Obviously, track like Zandvoort, because it is a bit shorter, a bit easier on tyre life, I think you can run multiple, any kind of strategy, really. Whether that's starting on the softs, mediums, or hards, I think anyone is viable. So we'll have to see if anyone actually goes for a bit of a different strategy. Anyone starts on the hards or the softs. I think we'll see. The majority of people start on the mediums, though. Might be proven to be wrong, but Paul's predicted that Bradders and Campa are going to kill each other. Oh. Obviously got tasty last time when they were near on track with Campa trying a desperate lunge into the penultimate corner at Budapest. That resulted in him dropping from P2 all the way down to P5, I think it was, after post-race bans.
So it's a bit of a painful one for him with the championship gap, really. It's sort of a move he just didn't need to go for.
Obviously still,
quite a few points from it.
Still got a healthy lead in the championship, which, if we do have a quiet period in the race, we can always have a little recap. But still 17 points ahead of Schokolade, who is P2 currently after his dominant win in Baku last week. Then it's Bradders P3. Here we go then. We've got the lights going off now. 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. And away we go here in the Netherlands, and Campa gets a good start. I think he's going to be leading down Tier 1, all at the front on the softs as well. Down in Tier 1, massive crazy dive run from a Haz. I think that's on Jatin, whether Jatin survived that, whether you've got any action towards the back.
Bradders already right to the back.
Wow. So the man, he's on the soft, so he should be able to hopefully push upwards. But already then, big hitter all the way to the back. Any more carnage? Got a couple of cars trying to go side by side as they go into Sector 2 here.
Chesney's in the wall and out the race. I don't know what's happened now. It's just
Safety car.
it goes into the wall and it brings out a safety car.
Wow.
The car's right across the middle of the track.
That somewhat saved Bradders then. Bradders stays attached to the pack. I think he was slightly adrift there. And already he was adrift, so he's been able to claw back. Troy's the only one on the hard tyres as well. Got a good mix between the mediums and the softs. Bradders saying about Campa, so I don't know if there was, we obviously looked for a wider shot into turn 1. And missed a bit of the collision between Campa and Bradders. Campa apparently has taken Bradders out according to the Aston Martin driver in the chat, so...
Paul was correct. Didn't take long.
Well done, Paul. But the safety car immediately then. First safety, I feel like this is the first safety car we've seen in a while here in Tier 2. Obviously we didn't see one at all in Baku. I thought, did we have one in Baku?
We only had VSCs.
Even though Ali was upside down at turn 1. We only had a VSC. I can't remember if we had one at Hungary. I don't think we did. And then we obviously did have one in Miami after that, so it's been a little bit Troy saying he's in here for the long haul, going along on the hards. Race will come to him later on in the race, so you can just stay within that pack, so man to watch out for. We'll have a look at position gains then on the first lap, just before we obviously had that safety car called. Campa's maintained his lead, Gremic up 2 from 4th place, so showing that pace he had in that initial provisional pole position time, then drag it up into P2. Lucas Champion up 2 as well, all obviously benefiting from Bradders' little incident at turn 1. Charlton up 1 as well, continues his good start, using up 2, Hugo 2, Rial's up 4 as well, so despite a little dodgy quali run that left him back there, he's already up into the point scoring positions. Zafir down 2, Schokolade up into the points as well, looking to do what he did last week and power through from the back. So we'll keep an eye on these and see. Obviously strategy playing a big part in this race already, considering there's how many people, well, the front 4 all on softs. Rial's are slightly adrift from that sense. I can still as good as we'll start to push it up. Beautiful.
I wonder if Awkward had a moment in there as well, because he's lost 3 positions off the start, and obviously it would have been 4 for Bradders' spin. And, we only had about not even half a lap of racing, really.
Yeah. Well, yeah, just before we actually, it was literally, where was that? Where is that in relation to Sector 2, 3? It's in Sector 2, is it, like just before the fast right?
Yeah, it's along there it happened.
I want to know, has he said anything in the chat? Let me, oh yeah, I'm assuming he got put in a ball. He doesn't seem very happy in the chat. So we'll see if that gets chucked in the ticket. We'll have to keep an eye on that. But we've still got 18 cars in this race. 3 different strategies on play as well, so plenty to watch out for. Safety car should be in this lap as well. Teams of constructors, look at the top. However many drivers it is. Constructors fight is all between different teams. At the front anyway.
Yeah, it takes until you get down to 8th until you have
a repeat.
Until you have Alpine at that point, forcing it. And
then Zafir as well in the kick, so it's all the teams really at the front fighting on their ones for the constructors. Just want their other half to get involved. Schokolade obviously trying to push up for Merck, being a lone Merc today with Mawson unavailable today, and then reserves are unable to cover him. So yeah, safety car as predicted is in this lap. Campa defending himself in the chat as well, so this is something to watch out for. I imagine a ticket will get made for that. Well, now we'll have to see if Bradders can try and push up through the Udo, obviously on the soft, so would like to have a bit clearer at the front to use that strategy, but can still use that to some degree from the back as well to get a nice undercut and move further up the Udo. But there he is. Ali 2 places above him, his teammate.
He's already sending it.
Oh, is he?
Oh,
He's going.
no,
I wonder if the game's held. I wonder if the game's held him back. He's gone, but he's going to get caught napping, I think, by Gremic. I don't know if he's going to make a dive.
Draining. I think if Gremic drained there, he could have potentially had a look at the inside there. It wasn't the best getaway from Tampa, but it's done the job.
A couple of gaps opening up already as well. Nitro's 7/10 off the back of Schokolade. So that top 10 could already break away if Schokolade has a good... Oh, I don't know if there's a bit of contact, but that's just a bit of noise that I heard behind. Rupsi Cola already a bit adrift as well. I think Nitro went for a little overtake there on Rialzo.
I think Auckland might have had another moment as he drops all the way down to last lap. The car's been running, but he's still at the back of Richter.
Rialzo's trying to get feisty as well on these softs, trying to make light work of these medium runners, realising that he needs to make a most of having this softer rubber. Round the outside, beautiful move then if he can make it stick on Hugo. I think he will as well. Yeah, what a move then for the Italian. Up into P7, goes deep though into sector 3, keeps it though on track. Upper position then, so onwards he goes, just oozing and Jatin left to go past if he wants to get up to his fellow soft runners as well. Lucas Champion's already a second behind as well.
DRS yet either, yeah, I was about to say, so he's not going to get saved along this straight. He's got a fair bit of ERS, and if you were him, though, I mean, you just start dumping that thing in. Yeah.
I'd literally, as soon as I come around this back corner, I'd be dumping it.
Yeah, you'd be doing everything you can to bridge this.
He's losing time through there as well, lost another little bit as well, and choosing not to burn. So yeah, the 1.2 seconds already. Campa and Grimmick, teammates from last season, could be away. Obviously on the soft tyres as well, so being able to use their softer compounds to good use here. So Robert's already getting a bit frustrated.
The curb though behind him. He somewhat managed to save it, but I thought for a moment that was going to be him sort of sent flying.
I saw the breaker board go flying as well. Yeah, stays in touch then, but yeah, there it is then. Lucas Champion already adrift, losing time down into sector 3, just through slipstreaming, not being able to get that toe. Lucas Champion again, he's doing a little burn, but it's not going to be enough. So yeah, there it is then, breaking the train already. Whether that can get salvaged with a bit of scrapping up ahead, time will tell. Lower down then, Troy as well, obviously on the hards, failing to stay with the two soft runners up ahead. 1.3 seconds as drift, but as we said, we imagine the race will come back to him in that sense as well, with him being on a softer tyre towards the end.
Robert makes slight contact with Lucas, who's trying to move up the inside but can't get it done.
Rouso swipes across the track and boots oozing into the wall, just as I flick up through the wheel. I managed to catch that, oozing with wing damage there with that. So it looked like Rouso just kind of barged him off the track there, so I imagine that would definitely go into ticket. And on the medium tyres as well for oozing, so that's what he's going to need to pit. Significant damage on that M plate there, so it's a shame then his race already taken a massive hit. Yeah, look how much time he's losing. He's got his teammates coming behind him as well. I imagine they just try and switch here because there's no point holding each other up. Yeah, nearly smashes him out then.
That's how they do it, yeah.
I don't think he was just imagining him fully just pulling out the way. Pulling out the way again, almost becoming a bit of a roadblock here. Oh, and Ali absolutely
gone into the back of Troy. Yeah, it's Ali into the back of Troy.
Sends it, yeah, tries to get obviously past oozing, but then misjudges his braking, sends Troy sideways. More time lost for this pack. So that's left Slick adrift now, 1.6 seconds as Bradders pumps in the fastest time. There as well. You're making good ground there, P10. Looking to get past Zafra next as well as oozing. 10-second penalty, I imagine. Is he going to retire in the pits?
Because it's one of those pit lanes that's very easy to
dodge, with a bit of damage as well.
I don't necessarily know if that's him going to retire, because it won't be staying in. I think that's just he's been caught out.
Painful. Just comparses pain. 2.1 seconds that gap then between your front two and then the chasing pack of Robert Compagnasu. Lucas Champion, Jatin, all the way down to... I mean, the train's all connected all the way down to Slick at this point, so everyone's still in it in the top 12 for points and above. This man's just about to put adrift there as well. 1 second, just about. He hasn't got a DRS on this little straight as well, so that might be Usman done as well.
Oh, Robert has a big moment as well before the DRS straight. There's a speed temp to the front two down as they just continuing to break away up there.
Jatin's in an interesting position here because he's the lead car then on the medium, so it'd be interesting to see what he does. Just as I say that, Rialza's looking feisty here, looking like he wants to get a move done. Down he goes then, yeah, on those softs, trying to eke the rest of the life he can off those tyres as he joins in. It's a top 5 then, all on the softs. But, a bit of contact there. Rialza's trying to get even more progress done. Little move done up on the inside there, whether he can make it stick on Lucas Champion. I think he has got the inside line. And yeah, through he goes, yeah, good move. Bit of contact, but relatively clean nonetheless.
Well, that was happening further down the field. Ali's into the pit lane with a wing change, so whether or not he took some damage when he went out the back of Troy or
Yeah,
someone else that caused it.
I imagine so, because he did fly. Oh, I thought Hugo was going to get beached to that curve then, but no, survives. Nitro then again, just playing with the devil
he's
here.
off in the gravel. He's round.
Has he got, I wonder if he's caught the curb or tried to get off that curb. Oh, and he spun into the wall. I think he's got wing damage from doing that. Oozing's back in the pits already as well. Things very close in the top 10. Behind that though, also we've got to move for the lead up ahead as Gremic then moves into P1, used a bit more ERS than Campa, and then Rialzo again. Oh, there go. Oh, it's painful for Oozing, already lapped then.
Yeah, if he's done that just to get rid of 10-second penalty, it's not a good idea to go lap down unless it just didn't change his wing the first time.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the problem for him. It didn't do his wing the first time round, so that's why he's come back in.
It must be said, I know it's still so early on in the race, but Alpine are having a masterclass of a race so far. Obviously, Campa down one position, but looks to be in that breakaway pack for the win. And then Rial's up 9 positions, trying to do what Schokolade did last week. He himself is up 5 positions, so a good race from him. Bradders trying to claw his way back up after that lap 1 collision, but it's going to be hard for Rialza to do anything more from here, and he's going to try, well, at this point he's basically going to be dragging half the grid with him if he wants to do anything regarding P1 and 2, so we'll keep an eye on that to see if he can push it upwards.
Bradders is off again. He's had another spin now. I assume, was he going for a move on with Sauber, I believe?
Yeah, he was right. I think he was right with Zandvoort,
yeah.
So there's a couple of drivers inheriting positions there for free. Medium runners then just settling into their stint, obviously. It depends how early you're going to pit and what ties you're going to go into, but it could be, if they're going onto softs, they could be around halfway through their stint, just under. So there's still plenty of this race left to go. Schokolade's getting very aggressive defending up against Nitro. As using staying in this pack as well, really should just maybe ease off a bit, but he is on fresher tyres, so nothing really he can do, and wants to try and make progress through the field again, but obviously as a lapped car, not much he can do from here really. Train still connected. Rialzo already 7 tenths behind Robert Comgessu, so obviously Robert with DRS flown back past them. It's painful when you see the leaders just there and there's just nothing you can do. Campa and Gremic just out of arms width there from the cars behind them. I think it's realistically going to stay like that, as it looks like, yeah, Gremic going to fly back past them to retake that lead. Whether Rialzo's going to make a move behind, I don't think he is.
I wonder if anyone's going to think about pitting shortly. Still, I mean, I suppose you can do it. It's still relatively early on if you're going to go to the mediums, but or not someone's just going to go for it for the undercut to try and get involved with the front two.
I think it's possible, and I think it could result in it working. I mean, we'll just have to wait and see. Obviously, Troy's race on those hards not fully coming off yet, but still 25 laps left to go, so plenty of the race left for progress. Obviously, is the only car in this gaggle of cars on the harder compounds, but he is fully adrift at this point after the little collisions that he's had with Usman. Was it Usman? No, it was Slick and Ali, wasn't it? That's left him adrift. Up to the pack though, everyone's still very close within the top 10. Zarfa's the next break in the train, whether collision with Bradders has then been the reason why he's been adrift. Obviously 3.1 seconds now, so that gap's continuing to go up. Bradders right on the back of him. ERS, oh yeah, Zarfa's got wing damage as well, so that's why they're losing so much time, whether he's picked that up on this lap.
Yeah, Zarfa's into the pits now, so I'll be to replace his wing.
It's painful because it's so early, but you can tie this in with a pit stop at this point, just go the hards and they will get to the end, so not the end of the world for him, because he can make that stick, I imagine. Yeah, wings going on then, so Zarfa, I imagine he's going to go all the way to the back, but apart from Ali and then the lap to Oozing, I can't imagine anyone's going to fall below Oozing. Well, we'll watch Zarfa at the pits, keep an eye on him. Just see, obviously this is one of the races where track limits can be horrible on the exit, especially at the pit lane. And he's cut that, hasn't he? So
was on board.
it's painful being a bit ratty going to drive in 15th for a cut, but a cut is a cut. But Hugo's as well, right in the back of Schokolade. Schokolade, the next man to be somewhat adrift from the train he's in.
Oh, Hugo's had a moment as well. I cut to him. He's in the gravel. He's almost
sideways
on the exit, but keeps it there. But he's lost the DRS.
Might be under pressure from Bradders as well. If Bradders can have a good sector 3, or we think he's just going to miss out. Looks to try and push up whether he's coming into the pits. No, so stays out. Just time lost then for Hugo. That's meant he's kind of in no man's land as well. So already packs are starting to separate, so opportunity for a little undercut here or there is possible. You've got the gaps to slot into. .2. That, to be fair, that gap between the top 2 and Robert isn't really changing. It's staying at around 2 seconds, so I think this pack behind is still well and truly within this fight. If they get a nice undercut going, I think they're more than likely to slot somewhere within the top train, so something to watch out for as we kind of start to enter that pit window, where that window has possibility to, if you want to go to the hards, I think you can make them go to the end if you were to chuck it into the pits from here, whether you are in the mediums or the softs right now.
Yeah, I just wonder if someone's just going to go for it from the pack behind the leaders, or if even Bradders is going to consider it to try push closer to them, or whether or not he's just going to trust his pure faith. He's about to get... Oh no, he's not going to get DRS this lap even. Past the detection point, so... It's closing in on DRS with Hugo.
Yeah, no one in this front train really doing anything. No one choosing to go early. Slick as well. Doesn't go. So yeah, no one going in yet, choosing to hold it out for a couple more laps.
He's the only man on the mediums as well who's managed to stay with this top lot, so it'll be interesting to see over the next few laps if the top start going, if he can try to get some moves on and push up like this DRS train, or if this is just going to be it.
Obviously the game's, I think the game's recommended strategy is a soft medium. So it'd be interesting to see if all these people at the front have literally just copied what the game's told them to do. And in which case, the mediums can get to the end, obviously, but I think towards the end, if you're doing a soft medium, I think the mediums would be at around 70% or so. So if someone, if someone like a Chatin, well, if he goes longer on the mediums to go for a medium soft, or goes onto the hards, I think he could be in a good position here to snag a top 5 at this point if he can stay with these faster compact tires at this stage of the race.
Fair play to Hugo. I thought Bradders was actually going to be able to get in his DRS for that, but Hugo's actually increased that gap.
Schokolade's in.
Going to be one of the first as well to get to the pit. Yeah, let's say Schokolade's in, Bradders is in.
Anyone else? Which Rupsy? See if Rupsy's into the pits? No, Rupsy stays out. Keep on Schokolade, then he's first man to come into the box then from this front pack. Got Bradders just behind him. He might be able to stay in touch with Schokolade if he's lucky, and then he can just get dragged along. You work together to good effect, just to oh, Bradders has cut the pit lane again.
Oh gosh. I wish you luck putting him up.
We'll come back to the front and see if these drivers do choose. Now is the time for a pit stop, obviously on the softs.
Oh, there's a yellow flag immediately. It's a Ferrari into the wall. That must be Rupsy. I think he's lost part of his wing. Yeah, he's losing he lost the right end plate.
A couple of drivers falling victim to the walls here, which is slightly unexpected, not a guarantee to be in the wall here. Very quick pit entry. Can they both get slowed down up front? Everyone's coming into the pits. Oh no, Robert Kumadeshi does not. Flying into the box. Misses his line. 10-second penalties to his name. Medium runners stay out then. So now we've got front through 2 V-carbs at the front and Jatin. Watch everyone come out and pit, see if everyone behaves. Campa first man out. Where does he slot in then? He's going to be behind. Yeah, behind the front then of Usman Sidat and the others. Oh, is that, who is that? It's just gone flying round. That's Troy come out of the pits. I think that might have been Robert Kumadeshi cutting the pit lane as well. I'll have to see. I'm like Hawkeye here. I'm fully just doing people.
That's a terrible pit stop for him. The 10-second penalty and cutting it. There's another yellow flag out. That's Robert Kumadeshi who's round. He's lost an end plate, so
wow,
he might
just
straight back into the pits.
just after that's painful as well. On your outlet, but what tyre is he on? He's on the mediums as well, to be fair. Very early to be going for the mediums.
He's into the gravel as he's struggling to just keep going.
Imagine Usman's going to be next man in then on the softs, 15 laps on them. You imagine he's going to do it. Yeah, Rupsy obviously pitted that lap to fix his damage as well. Slick doing a good job in P4 as well. Obviously, he had to pit 5 seconds of drift though of the cars ahead.
It's another yellow. It's Rupsy having another moment.
In comes Slick. Can he get it slowed down time? Very quick into the pits. No, he can't. Another man and Usman both follow each other in. 10-second penalties getting handed out willy-nilly here. I think that's 4 people that have now picked up a 10-second penalty coming into the pit, so it is tricky. It's proven itself. We've got another yellow flag in sector 2. It's Ferrari again.
Rupsy going slow.
Coming out the pits. How is Slick and Usman behaving on the exit? Oh, and Slick's gone out. Lots of people getting penalties then. And Robert is, to be fair, seeing it out, coming into the pits and then repairing his damage. About 17. Towards the front though, has the gap really changed much? I mean, Campa in all this has really benefited. Gremix drops out and he's actually outside of the DRS. That's one thing to note up at the front. Troy's actually just behind the leaders, still obviously yet to pit, but Lucas Champion's benefited well as well. I think he's dropped Realza just, oh no, I think Realza's just going to creep in. Yeah, we'll have DRS on him, and then it's Schokolade at 1.9, so be interesting to see when the medium runners pit where they slot in. You imagine they will be behind, but then considering they will be on fresher tyres, they should be able to then
I should say quickly, I hope he's listening, but Rupsy Coda deliberately slowed down and he's now staying in front of Yakin, who's obviously his teammate. So he should be following blue flags and moving aside to not keep giving DRS to him.
Yeah, Rupsy obviously already with a quali ban for slipstreaming his teammates, so if he doesn't get out of the way, you will. I'm watching this lap, see if he does anything. If not, yeah, he's moved out of the way.
I think you have the stream on, so he's moved aside.
Thank you. Gaps towards the front, they're relatively big. Waiting for pit stops to come in from these medium runners. Real's doing well though on these new mediums, just to do as well as he can to try and dispatch Lucas Champion, who's on the hard, still getting them up to temperature. Cut to the front to see if anyone is pitting yet. No, so everyone's staying out for now. Well, Jatin is anyway. Hugo chooses to stay out, same with Nitro as well. So yeah, I imagine at this point then they're going for a little medium soft job. Campa's got a good little margin going around on Gremec, 1.3 seconds, just outside of DRS, holding him just away, doing what he needs to do as Rouser then does get past Lucas Champion and making those mediums, putting them to work as he should. And Schokolade doing what he needs to as well, just to keep Bradders away from him as well. They obviously came into the pits at the same time, and then they're relatively near on track, but just enough to keep him outside of his DRS window as well. People like Robert Kumpiasu, even Rupsy and Oozing lapped at this point, so not much they can do. But
well, Rupsy needs to be careful because he's unlapped himself and he keeps giving his teammate DRS at the moment.
Yeah, Rupsy, if you're listening, you just need to fully pull it out of the way, because considering you've been done already for slipstreaming your teammate, this is literally against the rules again. So please, if you are listening, pull aside, because Jatin obviously getting the benefit here of his teammate getting free DRS, and then just pulling him away from Hugo, both the V-carbs now. So this isn't looking good for Rupsy. 1.3
yeah, I think
seconds.
he has to gap to the V-carbs, didn't he? It's more so the impact of what's going to happen when he comes in compared to the hard runners.
Yeah.
If the hard runners especially start fighting, you'd assume they're going to be up the road anyway. But I suppose we'll find out.
Troy gets mugged into turn 1 by 2 pitters as well. Lucas Champion and Riaz are both getting past the Red Bull mount as they try and see if they can keep somewhat distance. It's 5 seconds though, so the front 2 have actually caught the rest of the group napping in terms of the gap, and they've been able just to do their thing and pull away even more at the pit stops. Obviously it could have gone the other way, in which case the front 2, oh, and just I say that, Nitro's, who's this one? Nitro's off.
Yes, Nitro's had a moment and lost a couple of places.
I wonder if that's his call now, just to come to the pits.
Well, that said, he's still going to be with Gremic, who's on the fresh tyres, to try and drag him along, but you'd imagine he's going to move him quicker. But potentially, if you can just get Gremic to drag him along for a couple of laps, it won't be too bad. But no, I mean, he's really struggling to hold on. So yeah, I think you'll be correct if I was saying I'd be in.
Yeah, in he comes. Does he get slowed down in time? Yes, he does.
In time.
We've had a lot of people speeding, so yeah, he's in a way showing the minority at this point in terms of not speeding. What's he put? It's early for the softs, but on they go then. 15 laps going to the end then for the V-Carb man. Where is he going to slot out? I think he's just going to be ahead of this pack with Slick. If he can have a good pit exit. Wary of the end exit as well. I think, yeah, kept it within the limit as well, but and it's whether he could just hold off Slick. Obviously, Slick on the hard tyre, still getting them up to temperature. That's a bit of a moment through turn 3, but I think Nitro's just done enough there to be in a nice little bubble where P10 could be on the cards. Chimpa in the chat saying that isn't too early, to be fair. So yeah, the game I think his tyres are going to be very cooked at the end, doing 15 on the softs, but more than possible. Rial's playing ERS games already with Lucas Champion as well. In Sector 3, just keeping his battery on none. Back to the front though. Well, provisional front, obviously the two front runners yet to pit. Gremic not burning his ERS, choosing to stay behind. I think he's just going to tuck in behind us. We've got more movement behind Lucas Champion, then getting the move done. Moving up to what is P3 after everyone's done their pit stops. It's a good little scrap happening here between the front two, and then that final position on that podium as well between Lucas and Rial. So Lucas trying to continue his podium streak as well. Very good set of races recently for him, trying to push it up the order. Obviously P4 in the championship, doing enough today as well to probably jump both Bradders and he's 10 points behind Schokolade, 5 behind Bradders. So Lucas Champion potentially doing a little surge up the order here. Campa doing everything he needs to increase that gap. Currently 17th, 17 points ahead of Schokolade, and looking good for at least a P2 here as well. So it's
of course, the one thing that come down to is if he was to blame for the lap 1 incident.
Yeah,
I had a good view of it, so I have no idea on that one, but obviously one thing to consider. As Jackin's into the pits then.
Yeah, they come then. Same with Hugo, both into the pits, slowing down well. Oh, Hugo potentially slowed down a bit too much. Yeah. God, the car pushed it in. But yeah, Jattin onto the softs. I imagine that's going to be Hugo onto the softs as well as the front two go through. Same with the pack behind. How do the two behave on the exit? Considering they've gone for a little strat, they want to keep it neat and tidy.
Potentially a good time here, and he's just about going to get out ahead of Bradders, and I think that's important for him because look at that pack behind him that could have fallen in.
Oh, and Hugo catches that line, crosses over as well, and that will be a pit maker, I think, for Hugo. But yeah, Jattin honestly has worked very well, and considering the gap is 2.4, he's still got a chance of a podium here. I think considering he's now got to absolutely rag these tyres around for the next couple of laps, he could close that gap 2.3, and then it's whether that drags the likes of Bradders and Schokolade into the podium fight, which could be very interesting as a climax for the end of this race.
Yeah, I don't know if not it's going to be asking a lot though for Bradders just to even stick in the DRS. We'll see what happens over the next lap or two, and not Bradders can manage it, but already, yeah, look at that, sticking over to the second mark.
Yeah, too much then. Yeah, already lost it then. So yeah, it's all on. Look how much time he's gained just in this one lap. Jattin's flying on these softs. Gaining his second in this one lap alone. And doesn't help that Lucas Champion and Rialzo are fighting ahead, losing precious time. Look at the exit alone. Jattin's already knocked 3-4 tenths off them through turn 1 alone. So yeah, Jattin's right in the back of them already. So considering he's got the softer softs, the fresher softs, sorry. I imagine he's going to fly, but I mean, he's just got to stick with them, get right on the back of them in this lap, and then just try and dump his ERS and clear them down the main straight, whether that's possible or not.
Yeah, I think if anything for them, it's just keeping an eye on that gap for Bradders, because obviously they don't
get a flag.
Rupsy
contacted between, I think it was with Robert. as Yuzhing's obviously 13 seconds further back. Back this time, look at Jatin, he's all over them. It's all about the exit, which realistically he will have a better exit than the two ahead of the final corner. He just needs to make sure he doesn't go into a wall because he's right behind them. Beautiful exit though, he's going to tuck right behind Riauzo. And he needs to make this stick. He's at least probably going to get past Lucas Champion just because of the DRS. It's whether he can drain it enough to then get past Riauzo as well. I don't think he will.
He's got to be careful here though. The last thing he wants to do is get involved in an incident.
And he hasn't been able to make that move stick on this lap, and he needs to make the tyres work because lap after lap they will start to degrade and he won't be able to have that advantage. He's going for a little.
Might be able to get Lucas Champion on the exit here though.
Going to go side by side. Lucas Champion's already lost one position this way this race. Make sure that he does not lose another. Lucas Champion almost pushing Riauzo around the corner to make sure he stays ahead.
Almost looks like Jatin was lacking the straight line speed there because he had the exit on Lucas.
Yeah.
He's in solid position to get that burn, but just got further back.
Got no ERS as well, so he just needs a couple of laps of recharge. But tried the move around the outside here. Can he make it stick? He's trying it. Oh, Lucas! Yeah, Lucas doing a bit of dirty taxes there. He's doing a bit of wheel locking to make sure he stays ahead.
This is using the mad time though to the front two. It's going
7
to be
seconds,
beautiful for
yeah.
the front two, just to make sure Jatin can't really get involved with them.
Lucas Champion not giving him much wiggle room here. I wonder if Jatin's going to report that because obviously he's very prominent in esports, isn't it, the wheel locking, and Lucas Champion literally wheel locked with him to make sure that he stayed ahead. But down into turn 1 though, can they make a move stick? He's trying to get 2 done. Oh, catches the curb though. Has the moment those spins, more contact between the pair, and Lucas Champion survives to see another day. Jatin getting frustrated here, tucked behind, tries the same move again, little switchback. No ERS though.
Yeah, they're both similar ERS, just both burning it to try and get ahead here, and Lucas Champion's managing to keep it again.
7.6 seconds here. They've lost another half a second in this lap alone to the two up front. So it looks, unless anything crazy happens, it looks like we will be saying, oh, Jackson's gone for a move down the inside here. Bit of contact. Oh, has to settle again. All avenues just closing.
And that pack behind has been to close in. Schokolade and Bradders have been like that down. It's now 1.6, 1.5 to come down. So they're not going to be in it this lap, but if they keep fighting like this, I mean, those two teams joining in with us.
Yeah. Yeah, because we obviously thought that there's a potential that Schokolade and Bradders get dragged along, but it didn't happen. But just from fighting, there's a chance, as there is a bit of action happening up ahead here. All contact between Riauzo and Lucas Champion and Jatin as they all continue to fight. Jatin, I think he might finally have a move here. No, he doesn't. Contact again between the front. Well, this pack here, Bradders closed in 3/4 there as well. So Jatin must be getting so frustrated there. There's nothing he can do. He just can't make that move stick.
He just needs to get a bit of ERS really and just full burn it. But the problem is, it's, you know, you've almost got to cost yourself a lap doing that, which you don't want to do at this point. Lucas Champion's now looking for an even.
This might be the opportunity for Jatin.
Force him wide slightly, yeah. Jatin's going to look for it, but I think it's better of it. So they were going to look to go 3 wide for a moment.
Oh,
flag on
Rups, I think that's Robert Compagnasu. Oh, this could be a... Oh, and then Jatin again. That just has to toe back. Oh, contact again between the two there. Jatin trying a little switchback. Whether he's going to be given the exit. Space on the exit. No, not really. Robert Compagnasu, 10-second penalty for speeding into pits. That's him done.
He's finally got through Lucas Champion, I think. I say that, but that's
no ERS.
And that'll be ERS again. But he's got the inside line here, so whether or not he can make this hold. Yeah, I think
he is finally through.
But the damage he's done to the other two with Bradders and Schokolade.
They're here. Yeah. 8 laps left of this as well, so we've got a climax here. All the way from Riauzo in that last points position, podium position, all the way down to Schokolade. Hugo's even slightly creeping up to this. He was 2.5 seconds behind. He's now 1.7, so never completely out of the question there. Troy's into the points as well. Yet a bit. 27 laps on these hard. Bro's going to the end.
Hugo's another one who's gone for the toss trap, so obviously he can have the pace deficit. I think Jatin's done this too early now.
I think
it was going to be easy, I think, on Realza, he just waited for the DRS along the main straight, but
yeah, they're all scrapping it. Oh, they're in the wall. They're in the wall.
Champion's in the wall, and Realza's gone off with him.
I think Realza just didn't realise he had 2 cars on his outside, and Bradders and Schokolade are benefiting from that. And then out of nowhere, they're on the fight for the podium.
It looked like Bradders may have made contact with, I think it was Realza, and sent him slightly to the right to begin with, but I have to see that all back. As Realza's into the pit lane, so obviously he's took damage from the whole thing.
Wow, yeah, squeezed into the wall. Rubber Company actually realised that he's made a mistake as well. It's a shame, because he was looking good today as well. But that's a painful one. In fact, not only Realza, but Alpine overall as well. Obviously, no one really potentially gaining from that. Obviously, Bremick fighting one-handed today with Ghostface unavailable yet again. So that's why Usman's in that car for Zandvoort. 9.4 seconds the gap between the top 2 and the pack. Jatin now is at that point now. Softs he won't be running away on the softs. So I think at this point,
also caught oozing as well, which could be big here because he's going to get DRS assistance at least for this bit, and I think he'll get it down the main straight unless Oozing pulls up the range there. No, so this could be a chance here of breaking away from Bradders.
Oh, and yeah, Oozing's had a little moment at the final corner, so moved out of the way there. Don't know if that was intentional or not, or just the line he's taken, but yeah, so Jatin had a little bit of DRS there, assistance down the main straight to create a little gap. He's 8 tenths down still. I think he might just survive. No, it's just ticked over 1 second there. So Oozing's lagged out or left. Obviously lapped down, so there's no real point in the way staying around, unfortunately for him. Towards the back end, the points looks like somewhat locked in stone. I think that that Zappa will take that final points position because the 2 drivers right behind him do have penalties next to their name as well. So I say that, but did Zappa? I think I clocked him for
pit lane, didn't you? But that said, Slick and Usman behind with penalties. So.
Yeah, we'll have to see. Obviously, still. Oh, look at Bradders. He's just on that cusp.
Seems that Justin's also now caught his teammate. So this is going to be very tight as he's going to try to get through Rupsi, and he's going to get DRS again.
Just about, yeah. Although this one I don't think was intentional.
No, yeah, this one
this is just natural.
But, yeah, but he's just happened to catch the laps cars at a good time, 2 laps running, and I think that's just happened to create the perfect Bradders. Now the tyre line still looks to the well.
He's even catching the cars up ahead as well. Caught them by 2 seconds in the last couple of laps. So still got a bit of life kicking around in these soft tyres with 5 laps left to go. I can't imagine it's enough then to pose any threat to the front 2, but pay attention just on the off chance that he does have a mad final stint, but I don't think it's really a question now. More a question of what happens here between Schokolade and Bradders and P4 and 5 right next to each other, 5 points separating them in the Drivers' Championship as well, so a very important fight here for wherever they may be in the drivers. Obviously Campa running away a little bit, obviously we're not winning currently, so there is that side of it. Lucas Champion pipped as well by both V-Cars. So V-Cars having a good race today. Up until now they've had a torrid season, so it's nice to see them in the points. They've only got 2 points currently on to their name. Now they've got both full-time drivers, P6 and 7, so paydays come early for V-Cars, and they look to finally be getting a nice hefty set of points coming in. Sauber on 7 points again. Zafa might get a point for them, and then we're up to Haz on 16 points, who may get a point depending on what happens with Slick. Big winners of today, probably, but I mean, there's no real big winners. It's probably just Williams, just because, well, at the moment, Williams, because their driver will be taking 25 points. Who's got fastest lap as well? Fastest lap is Hugo, actually, 10.9, so very good time from the V-Card man. Let's talk about Slick.
Oh no, Ozing's still not back in the session. He's trying to get back in, but it's hitting him again, so obviously if he did get back in, he could be a man to watch the fastest lap.
Repsicola picks up 3 seconds. I think it's like the first 3 seconds we've actually seen this race. We've seen a lot of 10 seconds. I don't know if we've actually seen any... oh, we've got a yellow flag. Got a Ferrari off. Is that Rupsi off? Rupsi's off again in sector 2. Lost time there too. He's got a V-Carb coming up behind him. He's going to have a bit of DRS there for 3. Boat into the crunch point now. 3 laps left, or we're just going into the 3 laps left. Front 2, basically with a full ERS to their name as well. Both going non-ERS. That's why Jatin's been able to close a bit then. Got that gap down another second, down to 6.7 seconds. As Hugo's in this scrap actually, for considering he's on the softs and the sluts, and you know, potentially dying off in the last couple of laps, but Hugo's in this scrap for P4 as well, so don't write him out. Although he's got 2 experienced drivers, 2 well-known fast drivers here ahead of him in the form of Bradders and Schokolade, who did have a combined 38 penalty points last season. But
that's who said though. Proud to say that Schokolade's gone flying off and into the wall.
Oh, I guess he won't be in the fight for
What
P4.
happened there? He didn't even fully catch the curve, really. I just looked behind and I suddenly saw his car flying
off. Oh dear.
So I suppose that solves that one.
Yeah, it's just literally between Bradders and Hugo. And in a way, that's bad for Bradders. I think he probably wanted someone assisting him, and to fight on equal footing there on the hards. But yeah, Schokolade out of the picture then. 4 seconds drift, but he's got a 4 second window back to Nitro as well. So I think Schokolade is going to be safe then in P6. Jatin's got a nice little gap here. Brilliant race from him. Looks like he will have P3 as well going his way. Considering he was behind by 2.7 seconds when he came out the pits to that front pack, caught them, benefited well from a collision that created a gap, and now he's just ran away with it. 3 seconds clear of Bradders now, so brilliant race from him. Up 3 positions. Gremic up 3 as well. Hugo up 4. Schokolade up 7. Troy up 7. Is Troy Cutter yet? Is he still?
I think Troy's going all the way, so he's obviously praying for safety after.
Ali picks up 3 seconds. Yeah, we've got 2 10 seconds outstanding, and then Ali and Rupsi, the only people on 3 second penalties. So Ali's coming into the pits. That's his second pit stop. Oh, he obviously had to pit right at the start, didn't he, to fix his damage. So that's his first proper pit stop.
You assume Troy go in this lap, so. Well, I was saying about how someone might go fast in laps like that. Ali's come in there because it's first it, and imagine Troy would do the same this lap. He's now hit the point where there cannot be a safety car.
Yeah, so at this point, yeah, he has to pit in a way, because there's no reason why he wouldn't just get that pit stop sorted. As Hugo then makes the move. Well, it looks to get that stick on Bradders, but Bradders swoops around the outside. It's now at the point that the hards actually, despite being on them for 20 laps, they are somewhat similar again to the softs. But towards the front though, got 1 lap left, and it looks like Campa's done everything he did. Well, he's obviously learnt from Hungary, where Bradders stayed behind him for what felt like half the race, just realising he needed to make that move done on the last lap. And Campa's reversed it this time on Gremic. It looks like Campa will be going into the final lap then behind, unless Gremic plays any DRS games and moves out of the way. No, he doesn't, so Campa's going to have a great chance down the main straight then to take this lead on the last lap. Right behind full tank of battery. Gremic's got a full tank of battery as well, but considering he's 2 tenths ahead, I don't think it's going to matter at all. Gremic goes to the inside line to defend, and then as we go on to the final lap, Campa tries to power around the outside. I think he's going to make it stick.
Oh, well, Gremic's still side by side. Of course, teammates from last season going at it.
Oh, they can squeeze each other on the exit.
Gremic's slightly got the better of it at the moment, but could lose it round here.
Oh, yeah.
Contact between them.
Campa's got it. He's got still 1 opportunity of DRS though. Campa's still got so much of his...
now. Gremic's absolutely dumping his battery to try to look for this.
And it hasn't paid off. And he's gone wide as well, lost time. It's 3 tenths now. Troy's then been disqualified. I think he's just gone as far as he can. Maybe he's forgotten to pit. But Gremic's got 1 last chance then. Hasn't got a good exit though. I don't think he might have a good run to the line though. Depends on the exit coming into the final corner. But Campa's in a very good situation here to get his another win here to follow through on his pole.
That is such a fast lap. It's all about the win now. Gremic's going to get them from the DRS, but I don't think he's going to be anywhere near.
Yeah, Campa's got a good lead, and I think he's going to do it then. Just about then. Campa wins then in Zandvoort. Just about. holds off his former teammate Gremic, who brilliant race from both of them today. Jatin again as well. What a recovery, doing the medium soft, pulling that off, dragging that gap all the way down to 4 seconds as well. Hugo gets P4, Bradders P5, Schokolade P6. Nitro gets big points as well as Hugo for VCarb. Lucas Champion race slightly fell apart there. P8 for him and Rialzo, could have been potentially fighting for a podium, and it's ended up dropping them down to P8 and 9. Zandvoort does hold on to P10. Just about, they say just about, it's 9 seconds in the end after the penalty's been applied to Slick. So even if Zandvoort does get a penalty for cutting the pit lane, won't matter, still will be points. Usman P12, back again, racing again in HR. Ali's going to bring it home as well for P13, and then Repsy Cola and Oozing already finished as lapped cars. Crazy race. Fair play there to Campa. Both the Italians at the front done everything they needed to do to create a little gap for the cars behind and just pull away. Slick getting the driver of the day in game. I think driver of the day could be a hard one this week. We had a...
Well, Brandon's done another recovery drive, hasn't he? Back-to-back weeks.
Yeah. Considering, he was last.
Yeah.
Somewhat saved as well by the safety car in a way, just to keep him in the mix. But wow, what a race. Well deserved from all the people on the podium. It's just whether Campa does have his win taken away, depending on what happened with that lap 1 collision. So that's something else to be aware of as we head into the stewards room as well. So Steve Bradders reports that. Obviously a couple of pit lane cuts as well floating around. Bradders in the chat. Bradders, you may have got the pit lane again.
One thing to be said, I think we saw Hugo did it as well. So and then Chocolate's not close enough, so he won't lose anything over it. He'd have worse pit lane cuts.
There it is then. Big gaps in the end between the pack. Very close in quali, opened up in the race as expected. Campa though gets the win here in Zandvoort. Gremic P2, Jatin P3, Hugo Skarek P4, Bradders P5, Chocolate at P6, Nitro 7th, Lucas Champion 8, Rialzo 9th, and then Zandvoort rounds out your top 10. Outside the top 10 then we've got Slick, Usman, Ali, Rupsy, Oozing, Robert, Awkward, Chesney, and then Troy failed to do the 2 pits, to do any pit stops, so he was disqualified unfortunately. But there it is then. So on to Tier 1. If you're interested, that's on in 40 minutes or so. See if that can in any way match what we've just seen in Tier 2. I'm just interested to see what the pole time is going to be in Tier 1, considering that was an 8.9. I think that was quicker than what we expected to see in Tier 2. I think that time will hold up quite well if that was to be in Tier 1 in 40 minutes. So we'll have to see what the pole time ends up being.
8.9 would be sort of the absolute most to be expected, but even then to creep into the 8s is a very good time.
Yeah, in Tier 2. But if you're interested in watching what's kicking around in Tier 1, it's on in, like I said, 40 minutes. Same track, got Zandvoort up there as well. If you're just interested in watching Tier 2, that's on again next week, same time. And we're at Belgium next week, so potential of rain floating around. We'll have to wait for Tuesday, see when the weather comes out. But if you're interested in watching Tier 1, stick around. If you just want to watch Tier 2, we'll see you in Spa next week. Goodbye.